am a 15-star diamond coach, and I've been a coach for about 3.5 years. I'm going to share you a little bit about my story, and heck no, I'm not going to be on camera right now. I've done 2 workouts today preparing for this cruise, and I look like a hot mess. So just go to my Facebook if you want to see what I look like on my days I don't work out. Anyway, I did not necessarily start Beachbody and rise to the top and have this easy journey where everyone I asked to be a coach just was like, heck yeah, I want to join your team. I can't wait to become a Beachbody coach. That was not the case. And so I'm going to share a little bit about where I started, just so you guys can get some perspective on things were not always as they are today. I had to work very, very hard to get where I am, and it has ended up being a very great Cinderella story. But back 3.5, 4 years ago, the little baby in the corner there is my baby, and she was born 8 weeks premature. She had a severe brain bleed, and they gave her about a 90% chance of cerebral palsy. And at the time that I got pregnant with her, I had started dating a guy 3 months earlier. And I ended up out of a relationship of 7.5 years to date this guy. 3 months later, got pregnant. And it was kind of one of those why me things. Like, I was 23 years old, and I thought, yes, I'm recording. And I thought, oh my gosh, all these years, all my entire life, I had 2 alcoholic parents, and I had come up in poverty, and I ended up being a high school dropout because my parents were such non-functioning alcoholics that my little brothers, I felt a responsibility to take care of. I ended up leaving school to take care of them. And I thought, I knew I was meant to do something great with my life. I thought, someday, some way, I'm going to be doing something amazing, and all this is going to make sense. And then when I was pregnant, 3 months into a relationship, I thought, maybe not. Maybe all that time that I was telling myself, someday, some way I was going to do something great, I was kidding myself. Maybe I wasn't living in the real world, and the real world had just smacked me upside the face. And then, lo and behold, 7 months later, I was, taking care of this little baby in the corner there, scared to death of what our future held, not only because she was sick, but because at the time I got pregnant, I didn't have insurance. I was a bartender, as you can see in the right-hand corner, and I never had a real job, one of those jobs that you had benefits. And of course, when you're 23, you're completely resilient. You think nothing can ever happen to you, so why pay money for insurance? I ended up getting insurance, and it didn't cover but a few days of her hospital bills, and I ended up at about $400,000 with medical debt. And on top of that, I had bought a house at 20, and that house just happened to be bought at the peak of the market, and in 1 or 2 years' time had depreciated over $100,000. So I went from this girl who was going to do amazing things with her life, who was going to be different from her parents, to a girl who was $500,000 in debt and 24 years old. And so I was this girl in the middle picture thinking, why me? Why has my life been just this complete chaotic ball of mess that things keep happening to me? And I had this whole story built up in my head of how just unfortunate I was, and how sad of a life that was just, everything was just happening to me, and I didn't do any of this. I didn't deserve it. I didn't ask to have those parents. I didn't ask to have this baby, and I didn't ask to have all this debt, and I thought I, had done something wrong. And so I started feeling very frustrated and honestly very depressed, and I had lost myself in becoming a mom and not really knowing where I would ever find my way out of this disaster. Until the day, one night I was up feeding London, and I came across an infomercial for P90X. And of course, like many people, I thought it was a complete scam because in my mind, every infomercial I'd ever seen before was. And my boyfriend at the time, who was my daughter's father, he said, we should get it. We should do it. Let's look it up on YouTube. We'll find the results and stuff like that. So we went on this YouTube video, and we watched all these people's videos, and I thought, all right, there is no way this company is paying that many people to post their results. And so it has to be somewhat legit. And so we ended up buying the program on a payment program, and they made my now husband a customer lead. He went into the little lead wheel and popped out underneath someone. We bought that program. I tried it, and I did about 3 days until I got to yoga and thought it was going to be the relaxing day, and it ended up being the worst day yet. And I thought, I can't do this program. I'm so out of shape. And so I quit. And then I picked it up again later on, and then I quit again. And then I picked it up later on, and I quit again. And then eventually I thought, dang it, I've got to eventually stick with this program. And so I decided to keep myself accountable by posting a video on YouTube. And I posted this day one video, and I said, hey, I've quit a bunch of times, and I need to keep myself accountable. Can you please keep me accountable? I'm going to post my 30-day results. I'm going to post my 60-day results. I'm going to post my 90-day results. And at the time, I hated Facebook, and so I didn't use it. So none of my results were posted on Facebook. I used MySpace because if you were on this call before it started, I love music. So I loved MySpace because I could have my profile song. I could change it up every week. It was awesome. And so through YouTube, I had people holding me accountable. They would post on my results every single 30 days, and it really was the difference maker. Knowing that I had put myself out there, and knowing that these people were going to know that I failed, I couldn't fail in privacy, it made me actually complete the program. And the program changed my life. Not only physically, I was in the best shape I'd ever been in, and I was, 6 months after having a baby, but mentally, I had taken control of one aspect of my life. When everything else felt completely out of my control, I took control of one aspect, and it showed me that when I put my mind to something, I can achieve things that I once thought impossible. And I really think you guys have to remember that. When you're going throughout your journey as a coach and you're thinking about your challengers, remember this is so much bigger than a fitness thing. You are helping them get control of one aspect of their life. And it literally might be the only aspect of their life that they have control over right now. And anyway, I'll keep moving forward into my journey as a coach. Once I had that YouTube video up, I started getting these emails. Every once in a while, it wasn't all the time, but every once in a while I get these emails from these women. And meanwhile, I was bartending. And when I got these emails, they would say something like, oh my gosh, your journey is so amazing, and I'm so inspired by it, and, what did you do for nutrition, and what did you do for, to stay motivated? And I would just share with them my journey. I have no nutrition degree. I don't have any personal training. I'm not certified in a darn thing. All I am is some girl whose life was completely whack, and I took control of one aspect of my life, and I want to share that with other people, because if I can help someone the way that program helped me, I know I'm paying it forward in a big way, and I'm living God's purpose for my life. And so one day I had like 3 emails in my message, in my inbox at one time. And I remember Billy telling me, you need to call that company and see if they were a referral program or something. Because I had told him time and time again, if I could do that as my job, if I could help these women as my job and actually get paid for these emails I was sending back, it would probably be my dream job. And so when he asked me to call, I was like, no, that's silly. They don't have any kind of referral program. It's an infomercial company. But that day that I had those 3 emails, I said, you know what? I'm going to call them because it's getting ridiculous. I love it. I love answering people's emails, but I'm spending a ton of time on it. And why not? What do I have to lose? I called the company, and lo and behold, as we all know, they have a little thing called coaching, and you can sign up for $40, and you can become a coach, and you get a 25% discount on your purchases and a 25% commission. That's all I knew about it. And so when I was talking to the person on the phone, I thought, okay, if I pay $40 and I sell 2 P90Xs, that's $30 a piece. I make $60, so I cover the cost of my coaching, and then all I have to do is sell 1 P90X a month. By the way, I knew nothing about any of the other programs at the time. I sell 1 P90X a month to make $15. And I'm sorry, but $15 to me at the time was a meal for my family. And we were that poor. Just to get you guys in the mindset, I was on food stamps. I was losing my house to foreclosure. I was $400,000 in debt. And it's expensive to have a newborn baby. And so I was A-okay with if I only made $15 to $45. If I sold 2 P90Xs, $45, that was the difference for me. And so I signed up, and I then became became a coach. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I got this little box in the mail. And later on, when I came to find out exactly what this was all about, I freaked out a little bit because I found out it was network marketing. And to be honest with you guys, I hated network marketing with a passion. Like, if God himself would have said, hey, Lindsay, I got your list of the things that you want to have in your life, that you want to have the freedom to be your own boss, that you want to be able to help others and make an income based on how you help them, and that you want to have the freedom to be home with your daughter but also make a difference, and the solution is you're going to be a top network marketer, I would have been like, yeah, that's probably not the right answer because I hate network marketing. And so when I found out it was network marketing, but I was already in it, I was like, dang it, no way. But I had to take my ego off and throw it out the door. Because the girl who was going to pretend that life was perfect, she was gone. There was no more pretending. Everybody could see very clearly I didn't have my things together. Things happened to me and situations happened in my life that I couldn't control. And I had to be real with myself and say, you are no better than this opportunity right here. And so I decided, I made a decision in that moment that I was not going to treat this as a $40 investment, that I was going to treat it as a legitimate business. And if I was going to treat it like a legitimate business, I was going to treat people the way that I would want to be treated. I was not going to do it the typical MLM way. And when I looked up in my upline, I found that the person I was randomly assigned to as a customer lead was an inactive coach, and then the person above her was an inactive coach, and the person above him was a founding coach that was, in my opinion, a very typical network marketing person. And so I knew I was not going to run my business that way. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it the way that I felt comfortable doing and the way that I felt I could redefine what network marketing was. And so I decided to treat it more like a franchise. And I put 7-Eleven up here as an example because I use that a lot with my team. A franchise is when you buy into a business that already has a great name brand, that already has products and a certain way of doing things. But you're buying into this because you believe in what they represent. And you know it's a great business investment because you know that business is going to flourish. And if you can be a part of it, the money that you invest, you will make far more by franchising in the long term than if you were to start your own business and risk and have to take control of everything, all the corporate aspects, the shipping of the products, all the stuff that goes along with having a business. It's a lot like Beachbody if you think about it. You guys are buying into a brand that's already established. We have great products. You don't have to deal with any of the customer service or coach relations or dealing with the shipping of the products or the making of the products or the creative ideas of the products. None of that's already done for you. You just believe in the brand and you believe in where it's going. And so you're investing in it as a franchisee. A lot of coaches that I see get into this business tend to treat it like Mega Millions, like the lottery. Like they see my story where we are now, and it's almost like they think, oh, I'm gonna pay that $40 and I'm gonna buy my lottery tickets and hopefully I hit it rich. And I think maybe they see Mindy's story and all these people's stories, and it's like they don't really grasp what went into it, and that it's a legitimate business, and that if you get out what you put in. And when they don't hit the lottery right from the start, when every single person doesn't say, oh my gosh, I want to join your team, of course I want to join your challenge, oh my gosh, where do I go to sign up for the challenge pack? They're like, oh no, somebody said no, it's probably not meant for me, I'm not going to do it. Here's the deal. A legitimate franchisee, a franchise opportunity, you're usually investing $20, $30, $40, $50,000 plus dollars to even be a part of that name brand. To even get their training, their generalized training on their products and how to run that business. You're investing a ton of money. And so those people take it a lot more seriously than we take this $40 thing. Because we view this $40 thing, we undermined it because of the small amount that you put into it. But let me tell you about that person that invests in a 7-Eleven. They pay $25,000 to $30,000 just for the franchisee fee. That does not include the location that they buy into. I guarantee you that person knows their products. And I guarantee you they've studied other successful franchisee members. And I promise you they put in a lot more work before they make back and reap the rewards of their investment. And they know that customer service is everything. They definitely do not dabble. Because they're next on the line. They invested a lot of money into this. So what if you guys, of this group of amazing 271 people that have put yourselves on the line saying you want to be a Star Diamond coach, that you want to be a leader in this business, decided today that you treat your business like a legitimate $100,000, $200,000, $1 million a year business? How differently would you treat it? How much more would you know about the products? I can't take when people are like, I don't really want to do the Shakeology thing, that's pretty expensive. Okay, well, 70% of your income as a coach comes from Shakeology sales. So if you can't justify the cost, how are you going to justify it to others? It's not going to happen. You guys have to get in the mode of treating this business as it could be, not as it is currently. I want to show you guys this next slide. This next slide is literally my exact paychecks from day one. This is my first week. My retail commission, I sold one thing. I was still in debt then, $15. It was a one sale, $29.96 commission. 1 year in of busting my butt, of putting in way more hours than I got paid for. I was making $902 a week. Now, that might seem a lot to you guys, because sometimes some of you might be in for a year, but I promise you, you did not work as hard as I did that first year. Scotty got into my business about 9 months in, and he thought I was making over $100,000 a year. Easy. 6 months before then, I was probably making $250 a week at that point, working 70 plus hours a week, trying to figure this thing out by myself. He got in because I treated my business like a freaking business. I treated that thing like a $100,000, $200,000 business, even before I had made $1,000 total. It's that mindset. It's how you treat it. It's how you show people how much you believe that transfers to them believing in you first, and then eventually into the business. 2 years in, $3,225 a week. I had never made that much in my entire life in any week bartending. Ever. 3 years in, $14,156.30. Now let me tell you guys, this is only one business center. At the time, I had sometimes 2, 3, and now I have 4 business centers. Crazy. In my mind, 3 years before now, there's no way I thought it was possible that you could make that much money. But as soon as I got to the girl who was starting a business, treating it like a $100,000 business, and when I got to the $100,000 mark, I was already treating it like a $500,000 business. And when I got to the $500,000 mark, you can guarantee I was treating it like a $1 million business. And now that I'm at the $1 million mark, I'm treating this like it's a huge top business in the entire country. I treat it like it is everything. I treat it like I am Carl Deichler making decisions every single day for my huge team, even though my team is 11,500 something people as of this week. I treat it like it is the biggest team in Beachbody. It's not. It will be. Because I treat it that way. I'm constantly thinking further ahead than where I am. If you're stuck at where you're at, or where you are, and you're treating your business like the paycheck you're getting, it's not going to evolve into much more. So how does a person who's making $100,000 a year treat their business? How does a person that makes $500,000 a year treat their business? You have to think on that level. And I had nobody to show me how to do that. And so what I did is I did a few different things. A lot of personal development, a lot of following other top coaches, a lot of thinking, how can I do this better? How can I simplify things for my team? So, here's my life today. This was a couple weeks ago that we were 10,000, so now 11,500 coaches in the Bottle Dynasty. My little girl, who was that sick baby in the first picture, is now almost 5 years old. She gets to go to a private school, a Montessori school that she has flourished in. She gets to pursue whatever passions she has. I get to be present with her. Because we have this business, I can work my tail off while she's at school, and I can completely shut down as soon as she walks in the door and be present with her. We were able to buy a home in cash and never have to have a mortgage, never have to worry about how I did 3.5, 4 years ago when I lost my home to foreclosure. We won't have to worry about losing this home. We own our cars. I was the first female top coach last year. We had 3 people in the top 10. When I think about it, I don't believe it sometimes because it's crazy to think about. But I know it all started with that girl 3.5 years ago who was willing to step outside her comfort zone and forget the fear of rejection and just back against the wall, you do whatever it takes to make this happen. And that belief that I knew the products worked, I knew they were legit. And no matter how many people would tell me it was a pyramid scheme or tell me that I had lost my mind, I knew in my heart how that program had changed my life, how it had changed my belief in myself, how I went from someone who life happened to someone who was going to use those things that happened to her for the betterment of others. And when you're that certain about the change that this business can make in someone's life, it would be a sin for me not to share it. Even today, I could sit back and I could collect those paychecks, but I don't do it for the paycheck. I do it because I know there's someone out there, just like me, who needs this opportunity, who is just waiting for someone like me to post some post that is going to speak to her or him, and it's going to be everything they need to just shut down all the stories they have in their head of why they can't do things, and then they run with it. And now you guys see Scotty Hobbs rising to the top of Beachbody, somebody who made $30,000 a year, someone who struggled so much, who had this wife that is amazing that he never got to spend any time with, who had these kids who were amazing that he didn't get to spend much time with, that now gets to be free to spend day in and day out with them and help other people accomplish the same thing. It is why I do what I do. And I hope you realize you have that same potential in you. It was gifted to you. You didn't join this by accident. It wasn't some fluke that you randomly came across that Facebook post or whoever, eventually talked to you about Beachbody and got you in. It was not by chance. It is by destiny that you are here and you're on this call. So how did I do it? Number 1, the law of sacrifice. To attain something of greater value, you must give up something of lesser value. For me, that thing was TV, reality TV. I sacrificed it all. I never, for the first year of Beachbody, I very rarely ever watched TV. Because I knew every time I was watching TV, I was stunting my growth and my team's growth, and my team depended on me. There was nobody above me. There was no star diamond that was going to teach them if I didn't show up. And so I had this responsibility to grow as a leader. And I knew speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. I knew they weren't going to do anything that I didn't first do. And so I felt a responsibility to sacrifice the little things for a period of time to help those people be able to succeed and see a greater purpose for their life. Number 2, my faith. I had complete and absolute faith that this was put in my path for a reason and that I was destined to do something great with my life. I had gotten rid of that pity party that I had been holding on to of, why me? Why did I have all this thing happen to me? Not only that, why didn't I get a great sponsor in Beachbody? If I was meant to do something great with this, why did I end up under a Mindy Wender or Janelle Summers? Wouldn't that have been great? Wouldn't it have been great if I had somebody to place coaches under me so I'd have a strong leg? I didn't have that. But I had to figure out how to drop the excuses, get rid of the story, stop feeling sorry for myself, and move on. And how was I going to use those experiences to better the lives of others? All of you guys have gone through struggles, and they have not been by accident. I promise you that. There is a missing puzzle piece, and it's called Beachbody. And it's going to fit everything together and make complete sense of everything you've ever been through. Because you're going to use those experiences to help others who are where you used to be. And you're going to change their life because they're going to see in you their own potential. Personal development, I've already covered that. And only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. So true. I risked failure. I risked everything. And I remember my husband was like so mad at me that I wouldn't go back to bartending at the time that I had started coaching because I knew if I was surrounded by those people, I was going to give up. If I was surrounded by the naysayers, the negative people in my life, I was going to give up on this. Some of you guys have people in your life who are shunning what you're doing right now. They're trying to tell you that, you know, they're making fun of your selfies of you working out. They're making fun of you talking about Beachbody all the time. You need to create distance, if you can, from those people. Because they will plant a seed of doubt in your mind, and it will spread, and it will prevent you from helping the people that you're destined to help. I had to separate myself from almost everybody. Almost everyone in my life thought this was a huge scam, and that I was going to try to convince them to join the business and take all their money. Now, looking back, that was such a great move. Oh my gosh, the people I was surrounded by were not the right people. And the ones that were, they eventually came around. Some of them took a year, some of them took 2 years, and now they're in this business. And you know what? My best friend since I was 5 years old, she is not in this business, and we're still best friends. I'm not looking to convince people to get in my business. I'm just looking for people to support whatever decisions I make the same way that I would support the decisions they make. If you don't have those people in your life, it's okay, because you have this amazing Beachbody family. But you need to separate yourselves from the people that are putting you down for what you're doing in your life, the changes that you're making in your life. Because if you're making positive changes in your life, and people are putting you down, they're not the right kind of people for your life. You should spend more time with your Beachbody family, even if they're only through the internet. I swear, 99% of my friends are only through the internet anyway. It doesn't matter. Alright. My mind shift that made me a millionaire. I'm going to share that with you. Let me get a spoon of water. Number one, you know what? My family was not supportive of me, and I distanced myself. I'm not saying I cut them off altogether, and now they're obviously back in my life. But for a short period of time, I had to sort of separate myself from everyone, yeah. And that's totally up to you, and it's obviously your circumstances. But for me personally, I just had to take a little bit of space to change the people that are around me. Number one, get rid of the self-defeating story. We all have some kind of little story in our minds of the things that happened to us, and we need to get rid of it. Whatever happened to you, or whatever you've said is unfair for you, or why you can't do this the way someone else is doing it, you need to drop it. Because that's there to defeat you. That story is a lie. And everybody has the same potential in this business as everyone else. I know that, and I know now, looking back, I was given no sponsor because I needed to be proof of that. If I had a great sponsor, I'd be looking at me and be like, oh, of course, she succeeded. I needed to have no sponsor, and I'm thankful I didn't have a sponsor because I now see the truth of my story. I see what God was trying to do. So you need to get rid of that self-defeating story and decide that this is your moment, and you're going to find a way where there is seemingly no way. Number two, you need to be the kind of coach that you wish to attract. One of the activities I have my coaches do in my Emerald to Diamond training, and it's actually the very first activity we do, is I have them make a list of the 10 qualities they would love to have in a coach. And then after they make those qualities written out, I have them rank themselves on a 1 to 5 scale. It's very revealing on the areas that you need to improve. Because the truth is, you will never attract a coach that's better than you. You will never have someone that comes in your life that's everything that you're not. You're going to attract you. And if you don't want to attract you, you should probably work on changing you. You should work on your weaknesses or strengthen your strengths even better. But be real with yourself about where you're strong and where you're weak so that you know the kind of coaches that you're going to attract, because it's naturally going to happen. For me, when I first started this business, I attracted all kinds of Lindsay Matways 4 years ago, who were that woe is me kind of personality. And it was so frustrating because I was like, oh, why do I keep attracting them? I don't understand. I'm different. I've changed. But I wasn't really changed. I hadn't really changed. I hadn't moved forward. I need to drop it. And until I dropped that self-defeating story, constantly bringing up the fact that I didn't have an upline and all this stuff, I couldn't attract a different kind of coach. And honestly, I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel capable of coaching those people. My list of my top 10 people, when I first signed up, the top 10 people I'd love to have in the business, I was deathly afraid of asking them telling them about the business. Until you're that sure, until you're that confident, and believe in your strengths as a coach, you're not going to attract coaches that are at a higher level. Number 3, make things easier for others than they were on you. Always seek to simplify. Everything that I do as a coach, I'm constantly trying to think, how can I make this easier? How can I make it simpler for my new coaches? How can I take the graphical genealogy and make it so that it's easy for people to understand? How can I take something like inviting to a challenge and make it even easier for my coaches? Is it giving them ideas on different ways to post? Is it having them post in the group what they were going to post on their Facebook and then revising it for them? Whatever I can do to make their life easier is what I'm trying to do at all times. Number 4, speak your truth unapologetically. This is a big one for me because I was the kind of girl who liked to pretend everything was perfect. Everything was all together. I've got my stuff together, and nope, nobody's going to judge me because everything's perfect. Perfection is not relatable. Nobody relates to perfection. Nobody feels, when you're posting your workout pictures every day and you're throwing it in people's faces, it's not relatable. The person who is brave enough to be vulnerable with their truth, my gosh, that is when you change people's lives. I've seen Mindy do it, and I've seen Scotty do it. It's sharing your truth that will attract people. It will make them feel like, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. That's how you have to make people feel. Don't apologize for your imperfections. Try to use your imperfections to show other people what's possible. You want to move through them. Now, you don't want to have a woe is me party on Facebook, but what you do want to do is take something that was a disappointment in your life and show the revelation that you had through that disappointment. Show people how you came out of that. That is what inspires people to take action. Number 5, offer value freely and often. Don't be the kind of person who is always inviting to a challenge or always inviting to coaching, but you're never offering any value. Nobody's ever coming to your page because they're like, oh my gosh, if she talks about Shakeology one more time, I'm just going to block her. No. You want to give away all the secrets to success. If you've seen Chalene Johnson, which I know you guys have, she has, before she launches a big product, she gives away tons and tons and tons of free value. She does free webinars, and she does the 30-day push, and just tons and tons of free value. Why? Because if you give someone free value and then you say, hey, a few weeks later, I'm going to be doing this challenge group where I work with people one-on-one on their goals, and I give you fitness tips and nutrition tips and mindset tips to help you overcome the things that have been holding you back in your life. Because that person offered you value before then, you're thinking, oh my gosh, if I get in a challenge group, can imagine how awesome it's going to be. All the great value she's given me or tips she's given me through her Facebook for the last couple weeks. They want to join your challenge group over anyone else's challenge group because your Facebook was so valuable to them before then. That's how great sales work. So make sure that the posts that you're putting out there are offering value. People feel they get a takeaway when they see your post, whether it be motivational, whether it be fitness, nutrition, whether it be some kind of mindset tip, anything that's helped you overcome any obstacle in your life, share it. Anything that's made your life simpler. It could be organizational tips, it could be time management tips, it could be something to do if you have kids that you've dealt with, them not being able to eat anything healthy. What did you do? If it's a great hair product, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be related to Beachbody. But that your Facebook, when people go to it, they're like, dang, man, she posts some good Facebook posts. I like her. Number, I don't know what this is, 6? Get rid of the scarcity mentality. Guys, seriously, there are over 1 billion people on Facebook. And there are millions and millions and millions and millions of people who have never even heard of Beachbody coaching or Shakeology, or there's people like me who called into Beachbody to find out about it because no coaches ever found my YouTube videos and messaged me. There are tons and tons and tons of people out there who need someone just like you, who have no one else to go to. All you have to do is be out there enough to find those people. Now, if you're friend requesting people who are mutual friends with other coaches, yes, they've heard about it. So find people that don't have mutual friends as coaches, and those people have likely never heard of it. We are not that saturated. We have, I think, 147,000 coaches. Other network marketing companies have over 1 million reps, and still, I've never had anybody recruit me for those ones. I've never had anybody talk to me about, Melaleuca, which has like 3 million reps. I had never even heard of it. The only reason I heard of it is because Jeff Hill used to work for them. So understand, this is such an undersaturated market. There is no scarcity. I am not taking up all the clients for Beachbody right now. You have just as much of a chance as any of us. But a lot of people have this thing where they're like focused. They invited 3 people to the challenge, and none of those 3 people, they're like, oh my gosh, like none of the 3 people said yes. It's over. I'm not good at this. I need to probably move on to something different. No, you asked 3 people. It's 3 people out of like 1 billion. Doesn't matter. You just keep moving forward. You keep leading by example, and you will find and attract the right kind of people into your business. Next, look to others as inspiration, not as competition. Compete with yourself. I think I'm probably known as being very competitive. I'm not competitive necessarily with others. I don't look at other people as my competition. I am my competition. You guys know that, honestly, the way that I eventually finished P90X is that instead of competing with people in the videos and constantly getting defeated, because those people are P90X graduates, obviously asked to be on the videos, so they're really in shape. And I had just gotten done with having a baby and had a C-section, so of course I was really out of shape. So trying to keep up with those people is very demoralizing and made me feel really insecure and worthless. And so when I stopped competing with them and I started competing with myself and said, okay, I'm able to do 15 minutes this time. Next time I'm going to do 16 minutes. And then the next time I do this video, I'm going to do 20 minutes. And the next time I'm going to do this video, I'm going to do 25 minutes. And I started competing with myself back then. And it's the way that I eventually completed the 90 days. So I didn't do 90 days of perfection every 60 minutes of each video exactly the way it's, given to you. No. For the first week, I did 15 minutes each day. And then the next week, I did 20 minutes each day. And the next week, and then sometimes I would hit a mark, and then I'd fall backwards a little bit. And I would just push myself to push past that and keep going. The same thing is going to happen in your business. Stop looking around at the other coaches that started at the same time as you and saying, well, why are they further ahead than me? Do you guys understand? People come into this business at different points in their life. Some of you guys started this business when you were just first starting your very first Beachbody program. You started as like challengers/coaches. Nobody had ever thought about you combined with fitness. You just had never talked about it in your life. Do you think that you're going to post on your Facebook and then all of a sudden all these people come out of the woodwork and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, maybe let's do it? No. But then the same person, another person could have started at the exact same time as you, and that person has been doing P90X or has been doing Insanity or T25, whatever, for 6 months now, and they have great results, and they've been talking about it consistently, and that person posts a challenge, they sign up as a coach, same time as you, they post a thing about a challenge, and they get like 6 people. And you're like, I stink at this. Well, no, not really. That person is way further ahead of you. They might have the same exact sign-up date, but their start date was way ahead of you. Scotty Hobbs is another example of that. He was already a product of the product, had a transformation video just like me on Facebook before he was a coach. So of course he got into coaching and hit it harder than most people usually do. That's what happens when you start way before you actually sign up as a coach. Same thing with me. I started as a coach. I was coaching people long before I was an actual coach. Don't compare your chapter 1 to other people's chapter 20. You guys are not the same. You need to run your own race and not compare yourselves to others. Use them as inspiration. Go watch their Facebook posts. Go see how they word things differently. See how they talk to their challengers or their customers or their coaches. And be inspired by it rather than have yourself diffused by their success. Because if you were where they are, you would be having that same success. They've been consistent longer than you have. Ask yourself often, how can I make this better, or is this the best use of my time right now? That second one is the best thing I can do all day. Every single day, as I am working, I'm asking myself, is this the best use of my time right now? I am not a time management guru here. I'm not going to teach you guys on organization because I stink at organization, and I am not someone who's ever going to have it all together. But what I do very well is I constantly ask myself, is this best use of my time right now? And a lot of times, it's no. A lot of times I'm scrolling through my groups and I'm getting distracted by people posting things and I'm answering messages as they come in, realizing this is not the best use of my time right now. I need to move on. What's the thing I'm avoiding right now? That's probably the most important thing I need to be doing, and I go to that. So you don't need to be the most organized person to be able to be a top Beachbody coach. Let me thank you there. Yes, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it because it's not natural to you. A lot of you guys are never going to be great organizational experts. I love the idea of it, but it just doesn't click. So all I want you to do is to ask yourself multiple times a day, is this the best use of my time right now? How can I make what I'm doing better? And what am I avoiding right now that I need to go do? It might be your workout. It might be that there's a message that's super long in your inbox that you don't want to respond to, but if you did respond to it, you'd feel so much better and it'd be freeing. That's me talking to myself right there. So those are my tips. And do unto others as you would have them do unto you. My gosh, that's the biggest one. Sorry, I almost missed it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Talk to your customers how you would want someone to talk to you. If you never knew anything about coaching, what would you need to know to get in? Talk to your prospects that way. If your coaches are frustrated, you've felt that before, tell them what you needed to hear to get re-inspired. You guys don't need to know all the perfect answers. It's in you. All the answers are there. I am not some distinguished collegian. I am just a girl who goes from my heart and tells people exactly what I would need to hear to overcome whatever they're going through. You have all the answers. You don't need to study everything in the back office or the coach online office to know the answer. It's there. Know your niche. This is a cute little assignment that we do in our groups, and this we got from Katie Hefner. She has people come up with their target customer, and she actually has them, it's pretty cute, she has them come up with a picture of what their target customer looks like, and some of the things about her, like so specific. So this is Claire. She's 29 years old, not married yet, but in a serious relationship and is excited for her future. She has 2 dogs that she loves. She's a bit shy until you get to know her. She wants to tone up and lose 5 to 10 pounds. She works full-time and attends college courses. Feels very busy, but wants to work on her time management skills. Thinks this will help. a true worrywart, but she's working on that. She loves the outdoors and summertime, camping, walking her pups, the beach favorites. I mean, these are very detail. Oh, you know Elaine. So she's a very detail-oriented person. And she knows this person, that this is her target market. That is the customer that she's talking to and creating content for on Facebook. Katie's person is Caitlin. She's 27 years old, newly married, no kids. She loves dogs. She wants to tone and lose 5 to 15 pounds. She hates scary movies, one Shakeology, but thinks it might be a scam, is worried that she's the only person who will do P90X and not get results. She's worried that her friends and husband will think it's an infomercial workout. She just started her first professional job, but something's missing. Loves her friends, concerts, wines, and outdoor time, but not too outdoorsy. That's the person that Katie Hefner is talking to when she is creating Facebook content. For me, my target is someone like Elaine in the top picture. She's exactly me a couple years ago, just had a new baby. You know, she's the kind of girl that loves fashion. She loves great food. She travels. You know, she has a lot of free time. So when I'm looking through my Facebook, I'm thinking about the girl below, which is me. When I just had that little baby, what was I looking for? What drew me in? And I'm creating content for that person. And so when I'm creating content, I'm talking to Lindsay Matway 4 years ago, who knew nothing about Beachbody, who thought network marketing was a complete scam, who thought that P90X infomercial was a scam. And so when I'm talking about Beachbody stuff, I'm constantly thinking about how I need to work around her already preconceived notions about this business, about this program, about whatever. How do I become relatable and trustworthy to her? Well, for me, it's talking about fashion and health and beauty and giving tips and being fun and sharing my love of my child. And that makes her let down her guard and feel that I'm a normal person. I'm not this scammer. I'm not this network marketing professional. I'm just like her. And then she feels like she can get in. So you need to think about who your target market is. Who is the person that you're talking to when you're on Facebook? Because if you're talking to everyone, let me tell you, it won't relate to anyone. It has to be targeted. So think about that. I'm going to give you a little challenge. So this is my little social media step 1, 2, 3. Step 1, focus on being more interested than you are interesting. So just so you guys know, I don't know if you know this, but everyone on social media, everyone on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, everything, they're on there to be social. They love getting comments, likes, everything the same way that you do. Even though you're running a business, you guys both like to get comments. And so that person is posting things that are interesting to them. If you post on their posts and give them comments, like the kind of comments that you like to get, they will be interested in you. So for instance, if I am to see someone's child, they have a picture like Elaine did, and I post, oh, cute. That comment is not going to stand out because everybody says, oh, cute. What I want to say is something very specific about that child. Pointing out the fact that he has his daddy's nose, or, oh my gosh, I totally see your blah, blah, blah in his face, or, oh my gosh, that outfit is so cute, where did you get it from? You know, things that are specific enough to stand out from the majority of comments. It's kind of like, I always say this in our groups, but it's kind of like on birthdays when everybody says the same dang thing. You're like, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, HBD, HBD, happy birthday, happy birthday, Lindsay, happy birthday. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't even know if you posted happy birthday or not because there's just the same message 100,000 times. But when someone, even if I'm not close with them, takes the time to write this little 2-sentence blurb, it sticks out amongst people I was way closer to. Because that person took time to personalize something for me. It makes me feel important. And when you make someone feel important and you make them feel interested in, they all of a sudden become interested in you. Fact is, we like people who like us. And so if you want to be more liked, like more people. Show them the kind of love that you like to get. Step 2, Find your 5 things and create a mini reality show on social media. Your 5 things. So the 5 things that you either are very naturally passionate about, maybe there are some hobbies of yours, or of course one of them is probably Beachbody. Maybe you're really obsessed with a certain workout, but you don't want everything to be Beachbody. I did recently a social media analysis on all of my coaches that asked, and I went through their pages, and almost all the ones that I felt I didn't relate to were the ones that were just all Beachbody. You want to make sure there's at least 4 to 5 things that you're switching up amongst that people can relate to, and they can draw in from other things that you're posting about. So for me personally, I post about my faith a lot. I post about my family. That includes a daughter and 2 doggies. I post about fashion and beauty tips, things that I love, products that I love, different hairstyles. It could be a cute outfit, things that have no relevance to Beachbody whatsoever. I also post about health and fitness, and I post about entrepreneurship or business or freedom and that kind of thing. It doesn't always relate to Beachbody, though. I'm not always preaching, like, join my team, here's my apprenticeship, blah, blah, blah. I only post that maybe once or twice a month. The rest of the time, I'm just giving little tidbits of information, things that have helped me in my business that could relate to any business. It's not necessarily Beachbody focused. So find your 5 things and create a mini reality show to where anyone at any time can go to your page. If they knew nothing about you, they would know at least 3 of those 5 things within 20 seconds of scrolling your page. They would get a general idea of who you are to where they could decide, I like this person, or I don't like this person. And if they like you, they're going to follow you or subscribe or friend request you. If they don't like you, they're just going to keep moving on. And you're A-okay with either. I'm not looking to make everybody like me. I got over that a long time ago. That's another one of those tips. Get over everyone not liking you. They're not all going to like you. I have plenty of haters. Every single day, negative comments. But for every negative, there are 20 to 30 positive. And therefore, I get over the fact that that negative comment has nothing to do with me. That person does not know me. They don't define me. And their judgments are based on their own insecurities. That goes for the comments that you get as well. So get over it. Post to add value, not to sell or recruit. Even when I am posting something about a challenge, or I'm posting something about a coach apprentice group, I'm posting it based out of a love and passion for helping others, not based on me needing to make a commission. And that was even me way back in the day. Before I was making a huge paycheck, it was me back in the day trying to focus on how can I talk this person into this program, not because of the commission I was going to make, but because it changed my life and I wanted to help them change their life. Step number 3, lead with how you can better their life rather than how they can better yours. Let me repeat that. Lead with how you can better their life rather than how they can better yours. And that goes for customers, and that goes for coaches, and that goes for getting your coaches to diamond. A lot of times, we get to diamond ourselves, and we want to be star diamond so bad that we'll do whatever it takes to convince one of our coaches to get to diamond so that we can get to star diamond. And it becomes super hard. Fact of the matter is, people are not motivated by what you want. They're motivated by what they want. And if you're so focused on what you want, you're not taking enough time to get to know what they want and showing them how to get there. And therefore, they're not motivated. It becomes very easy when you pull yourself out of the calculation and you just focus on helping them get to their goals. All of a sudden, you're like, go from a 1-star diamond struggling to stay there to a 10, 15-star diamond. Treat and talk to others as if you would want someone, as you would want someone to talk to you. I already mentioned that, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but it is the key. And I can't overemphasize it enough, because every single time I deal with an objection, I don't need to go ask, my entire group how to deal with that objection, because I know, just like I said earlier, innately, you know the answer. The answer is not that you need to know every ingredient in Shakeology and every single way that you can handle that objection perfectly. No, talk to that person. Look at them as a person. They're a real person, just like you were when you had the same exact doubts. Talk to them as a human being, the same way you needed to be talked to. And don't scheme them into it, and don't try to pressure sell them. Tell them you had the same exact things, and this is how you overcame it. Or this is where you researched to find out, and this is what made you decide to go for it. Or you decided to give it a 30-day trial, and this is what happened. Be real. There is no sales tactics that can save you if you are trying to be fake. You just have to be real, be you, and talk from the heart, and people will be in. How to build a team of leaders, not leaners. Leaders become great, not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. I already mentioned it in the last slide, but you guys are in a Star Diamond group. You're in a group to become a leader. And the truth is, there's nothing that you can do to pull people to give more than they want to give, than what they've decided. And a lot of times what I've seen happen with brand new diamonds or people that are just about to get to diamond is they're trying to get people to give more than they want to. And they're like, if I could just convince this person and I can get them to see what I see, then, I would hit diamond or I would hit star diamond and they would be amazing and make all this money. No, because you're going to get to diamond or you're going to get to star diamond and they'll hold it for a little bit and then they're going to completely fall out. There are some people in your business right now who are never going to build a business. And it doesn't mean that they don't have the potential to build a business. It's just they're not in that place in their life where they want this enough. They don't want it the way that you do. They're not on a call at 10:30 at night Eastern time listening to me speak. Maybe they could have been, but they chose not to. And it's okay. You need to let that go. I will tell you, in my early days as a business person in this business, I held my own self back because I tried to pull out of others what I saw in them, but that they did not see in themselves. I want you guys to make a pact tonight that you will not give others what they do not give you in return. If they do not meet you halfway, you need to keep looking for other people. And it's not that those people that you're looking to help now don't have the potential or won't eventually be ready, but they're not ready now. You meet people halfway. They walk, you walk. They run, you run. They sprint, you sprint. They stop showing up, you stop showing up. I will never abandon someone. There has never been a coach in my team that they stop showing up and then they come back ready for help and I'm like, nope, I'm sorry, too late. Never. I let them know right from the start, this is how it works. I will always meet you halfway. I will always match your efforts. You will never run faster than I will run because I am the leader of this team and I will work harder than anyone else on this team. Are you willing to do the same for your team? Are you willing to work harder than anyone else in your team, first of all? But second of all, are you willing to give people ownership of their business to where you're not trying to manage their business? You are helping them grow it as a mentor. Because the difference is, a boss is someone who tells you what to do. They're driving you to meet quotas, and they're driving you to hit goals. That's a boss. You are not someone's boss, okay? They own their business, just as much as you own your business. You are a mentor. A mentor is someone who has done what you want to do. You are walking the walk. You are leading the way. You are lighting the path. You are making the sacrifices that they would need to make to be successful. But it's their choice if they follow. You cannot drag them along. And let me tell you, some of you guys are dragging people along. I saw somebody put that they have 4 of those. You're dragging those people along, and it's slowing you down. You could be further ahead if you let those people be where they want to be. And you say, I'm always here for you. But here's the deal. I'm going to meet you halfway from here on out. And I'm going to continue to find other people that want to grow this business. And you go find those people that want to grow that business. I promise you, your business is going to prosper. It will. So meet people halfway. Scotty, there was no convincing. Scotty, he just wanted it. And anytime he needed something, I was there because I was always going to meet him halfway. Same thing with every successful person in my business. I have never, ever convince somebody to be successful in this business and it worked. Never. Now I can inspire them, I can lead the way, and I can show all of you guys what's possible, but you have to feel it within yourself to be able to do the work that it takes to get there. So understand that and let go of that pressure of having to make your whole entire team successful. You are not responsible for people's success. You are responsible for your success, and you are responsible to lead by example. So keep going. Let go of the responsibility of others. Stop managing and start leading. Final thoughts. Surrender what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. Be the kind of leader that you would want to follow, and believe in yourself and all that you are, knowing that there's something inside you that's greater than any obstacle. Like I said before, you guys are here for a reason. It is not by accident. Something big is on the horizon, but you've got to be willing to stick it out, make the sacrifices, give up some things initially, and ride this out so that you can see the possibilities of what Beachbody can do in your life. I promise you, it's bigger than what you realize. And I hope that if anything, my story can just show you what's possible for you. It's not really about me anymore. It's about showing you guys that you can believe in dreams that are bigger than what you ever thought was possible, and that when you do believe and you do follow suit and you take action, they can happen. So I appreciate y'all being on the phone, and I will go watch The Boys. Have an amazing night, and I will chat with you all soon. Bye, guys.